Your customer decides to trust you before you ever talk to them. By the time they call you, their decision is already made. Think about this. The last time you purchased something, you did the research, right? You went to the website, maybe some other websites. You found some competitors. You found the founder. You found the vision. You went to their social channels. And then when you call them, you already trust them because you know everything about them. Trust is built when you are not in the room. Trust is built on all the places you are when you are not in control at that moment, because you control what you say and you control what you say on every place, on your own domain, on your social channels. But it's important to understand that your potential customer can find trust on all these places. And what's one thing that's very important is when you say one thing on your website, but a slightly different one on your social channels, and then a few weeks later, a slightly different thing on another social channel or on the same, the trust is gone and you have to rebuild the trust again. So picture this. I had this happening in my old business. Customer A, they called me and they started to ask me all kind of questions. Tell me something about yourself, about your background, about why you do what you do. And then in the background, okay, why did you make these choices? Okay, tell me something about your services and your pricing and stuff like that. When I had these phone calls, I almost always did phone calls with this customer that took me like 1.5 hours. Way too long. Even with my sales background, I had won awards in sales. I still had to talk to them for almost 90 minutes and then they will become customer or not. Then picture this, customer B. That's amazing. They called me and they are like, oh, so great to talk to you. I saw you on the podcast. I saw your blog article. That last reel of yours was really funny. I like the calm in your voice. I like your service. I like the framework you use. It's amazing. On your website, it's very clear what you do and how you do it. And your background story, it hits me all the time. Can I work with you? And these phone calls took me like 15 minutes and then I had the customer. Which one do you prefer? And which one is possible for you at this moment? Trust is just repeated confirmation. It's important. That's why I use the funnel of trust. Ask something small, give something big, propose the next step. That's very easy because you, as an entrepreneur, for you, it's very important to be visible online. You don't have to be the shouter. You don't have to be online 10 times a day. Yes, that will work if you have the resources and the target audience for that. You can shout 10 times a day on Instagram Reels or TikTok if you want to. That's possible. I don't say it's not working, but for the most entrepreneurs, it's not necessary. It's just you have to be visible online every day, every once in a day. That's enough. But you have to be consistent in what you share. That's why the funnel of trust is ask something small, give something big, propose the next step. How we do that is we ask first to do a little assessment, because if people give you their time in the form of an assessment, we give a report back, especially personalized for that person. And because we know a little bit about that person at that moment, we can give a lot of worth. So we give something big, like, okay, you're this kind of person, here you have these kind of podcasts. These are especially for you, very good for you. This blog article is really going to help you. This infographic, I always share a personal voice note. That's amazing because it makes it more personal. But at that moment, when you give something big, they are not going to binge your podcasts. Most of them, most of the potential customers are not doing that. Some of them will, but most of them will they will save the email and they will listen to your podcast, to 2 of them or 3 of them in a week. So within 1 week or 2 weeks, you gain so much trust because they know everything about you, because you told in this little package you give them your frameworks, how you work, why you do what you do, who you are for. And if you do that, they receive a lot of word. They can do it themselves, but they want to work with you. That's how it goes. So it's very simple. If every sales call you have feels like heavy and tough and difficult, it's not about your sales technique. It's about the trust you gain upfront. It's just simple as that. You just have to be visible online. You have to answer the most asked questions. That's very good for AI findability as well. So AI will cite you and even recommend you if you answer these questions. So think about what are the most asked questions. I've got a whole video about it. So ask this yourself, give answer to these questions online, make it visible, pin the post or podcast on Instagram so people find it immediately. Make sure you share the same podcast over and over again, maybe once a week, maybe once in 2 weeks, that same podcast for your new followers, for the same followers, so they start to understand who you are for, what you do, how you do it. And if you share that over and over again, every phone call you get from a potential customer, it's already settled. They call you and they say, I love what you do. You have the right solution for my problem. I want to work with you. Where can I pay? That's it.